Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be looking at, well, really how AI is becoming so much more personal. I mean, we've got some really interesting stories here about AI remembering our preferences
Mhm.
and kind of blurring those lines between like asking for advice and getting a medical diagnosis, and even what it means to be able to talk to AI like it's a real person.
It really is. It feels like a turning point. Like
Yeah.
AI is going from just a tool to like a companion almost.
Yeah, exactly. So to kick things off, let's talk about Google's Gemini chatbot. They've introduced this memory feature so it can remember preferences and past interactions, even just key information. What are your initial thoughts on that?
Well, it's fascinating. I mean, this is really a big leap forward in terms of personalization. Like imagine a chatbot that remembers your birthday, your favorite topics,
Yeah.
that project you're working on. I mean, from a user experience standpoint, this could be huge.
Yeah, I can definitely see the appeal, like almost like having a personal assistant that knows you inside and out. But
Yeah.
I do have to wonder about the kind of the hyper personalization and data privacy.
Yeah, you're right. That is the other side of the coin. I mean, the convenience factor is great, but we have to think about data security and privacy. And there are regulations like GDPR in the UK that are addressing those concerns, emphasizing transparency and user control of that personal data.
That makes sense. It seems like companies are really going to have to walk this tightrope
Mhm.
between offering these really amazing personalized experiences, but also being really transparent about how they're using our data.
Yeah, it's a delicate balance for sure. And it makes me think about another development. This one's a bit more concerning to me. There have been reports of people uploading medical images to AI chatbots, basically looking for medical advice or diagnosis.
Wait,
Yeah.
really? People are actually doing that?
Yeah, unfortunately they are. And it highlights that gap in understanding that a lot of users don't seem to grasp the limitations of these AI tools. They're not designed for medical diagnosis, and they don't have that rigorous security that would be required for such sensitive information.
Wow, that's alarming. I mean, AI is powerful, but it's definitely not a substitute for a trained medical professional. Seems like we really need some education here, both for users and for the companies developing these tools.
I agree. There needs to be more emphasis on responsible AI use, and that includes setting clear boundaries for what these tools can and can't do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Yeah.
let's talk about another development that's exciting and maybe a bit concerning. OpenAI expanding ChatGPT's capabilities to include advanced voice interaction.
Oh, this is a big one. This is a significant step toward making AI feel more natural and conversational. Imagine being able to talk to your AI assistant just like you would talk to another person. This could change everything for accessibility for users with disabilities, streamline workflows through hands-free interaction, and maybe even lead to more people using AI.
I could see how this could really change how we interact with technology.
Yeah.
But again, I can't help but think about the privacy implications. I mean,
Yeah.
voice data is really sensitive.
Oh, for sure. Voice data carries really unique markers, from our vocal patterns and emotions to even information about our health or location. We need really robust security measures and user control over that voice data.
It really seems like every step forward with AI comes with new ethical considerations and risks that we have to carefully navigate. But for now, let's shift gears and talk about a big move in the business world. Meta appointing Clara Shih to lead their new business AI group.
This is interesting. It's a strategic move by Meta that shows they're serious about competing in the AI world. They're going up against Google and Microsoft, especially in business.
So what do you think this means for the future of business AI? What innovations or disruptions could we see?
It's hard to say for sure, but the possibilities are pretty big. We could see the development of really advanced business tools that leverage AI for everything. Data analysis and automation to customer relationship management. Meta might even try to set new industry standards, push the boundaries of what's possible with AI in the business world.
This all sounds really exciting, but also incredibly competitive. The stakes are high for Meta. They're going to have to constantly innovate and push boundaries if they want to stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. It will be fascinating to see how their approach to business AI unfolds and what impact it has on the industry as a whole. This is definitely a story to watch.
Agreed. And on that note, we are going to take a quick pause. When we come back, we'll delve deeper into the potential impacts of these AI advancements, both for businesses and for us as individuals. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about these big leaps forward in AI and how they're intersecting with our daily lives. I mean, it's almost like we're stepping into a science fiction novel, but it's really happening right now.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable how quickly things are evolving. And as AI becomes more integrated into our lives, it really raises some fundamental questions about the future of work, human connection, even what it means to be human?
Yeah, those are some big questions. But let's start with something a little more practical. If AI is becoming this integral part of our world,
Yeah.
what does that mean for us as individuals? Like, do we need to become AI experts just to keep up?
I think that's a valid concern. We don't all need to be programmers or data scientists, but having a basic understanding of AI and its implications is important. It's about AI literacy, being aware of how these technologies work, their potential benefits, and their limitations.
So it's more about being informed and discerning users of AI rather than being technical experts, kind of like how we don't need to know how to build a car to drive one safely.
Exactly. It's like understanding the rules of the road and being able to navigate this new AI-powered world.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of navigating responsibly, we've touched on some ethical concerns around data privacy and the potential misuse of AI.
Right.
What are some other ethical things we should be thinking about?
Well, one of the biggest challenges with AI is fairness and making sure we're avoiding bias. AI algorithms are trained on so much data. And if that data has existing societal biases, those biases can get amplified in the AI's decisions.
Yeah, that's a really important point. We've seen this with things like facial recognition technology and even hiring algorithms that can make existing inequalities worse. It seems like it's going to be really important to develop AI systems that are not just advanced, but also ethically sound.
Absolutely. That's why there's a growing movement for ethical guidelines for AI development. It's about making sure AI is used for good, that it benefits everyone.
Yeah.
And doesn't make social problems worse.
That all makes sense. It sounds like we need more transparency and accountability from the companies who are developing these technologies. We can't just blindly trust that they'll do the right thing.
Right. We need regulations and oversight to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly. But it's not just about the government stepping in. It's also about companies taking proactive measures to address these ethical concerns.
So it sounds like a multifaceted challenge that requires collaboration from everyone. Governments, companies, researchers, even individuals.
Exactly. It's a collective responsibility. And that's why it's so important to have these conversations, raise awareness, and push for change.
So it's not about being passive consumers of AI. It's about being active participants in shaping its development and use.
Precisely. Which brings us to education. How do we give people the knowledge and skills to navigate this AI-powered future?
That's a great question. It seems like AI literacy should be a fundamental part of education, not just for tech fields, but for everyone. Imagine if we started teaching kids about AI ethics, how to critically think about information in an AI-driven world, how to use these tools responsibly.
I love that. Empowering the next generation with the skills and mindset to thrive in an AI world is crucial. And it's not just about young people. It's about lifelong learning for all of us. We need to stay curious, stay informed, and be willing to adapt as these technologies change.
It is a little daunting to think about,
Yeah.
but it's also really exciting. We're living in this time of amazing technological change, and we have a real chance to shape it.
Yeah. It reminds me of something I read about coevolution with AI. It's not about humans versus machines. It's about humans and machines evolving together, learning from each other, and creating a future that benefits us both.
I really like that perspective.
Yeah.
It's not about fearing AI. It's about finding ways to collaborate with it, to use its strengths, while also mitigating its risks.
Exactly. It's about finding that harmony, a way to integrate AI into our lives that makes our human experience better.
Well said. And on that note, I think we're ready for our final deep dive into the practical steps we can all take to navigate this new AI world. Okay, so we've talked about a lot in this deep dive, personalized chatbots, the potential for AI in business, even those ethical considerations with these advancements. It feels like we're at this point where things could really change in society. So I'm curious, what can we actually do to make sure this change is good?
Yeah, it's easy to feel overwhelmed with how fast things are moving, but I think the first step is realizing we're not powerless. We can shape the future of AI. It really starts with that mindset.
Okay, so we have some agency. But how do we put that into action? What are some things we can do to make sure AI is developed and used responsibly?
Well, one of the most effective things is supporting those organizations and initiatives that are pushing for ethical AI. There are groups out there working really hard to set guidelines, advocate for transparency in algorithms, and fighting against bias in these systems.
Right, so it's about getting behind the people who are already doing the work.
Exactly. We can also advocate for policies that protect our privacy and make sure AI is used for good. This means talking to our elected officials, participating in those public discussions, and just making our voices heard.
So be informed citizens and participating in that process. What about on a more individual level? Are there things we can do in our own lives to navigate this new AI world?
Absolutely. It starts with thinking critically. We need to question the information we're seeing, think about where it's coming from, and be wary of the hype. AI is often presented as this magical solution, but we have to remember it's a tool made by humans, and it comes with limitations and biases.
So a healthy dose of skepticism is a good thing. Don't just believe everything you hear about AI. Ask questions. Do your own research. Form your own informed opinions.
Exactly. And lastly, we can educate ourselves and those around us. Talk to friends and family about AI. Share what you're learning, and encourage them to be curious and informed too.
I like that. Spreading the knowledge and building that collective responsibility. It's empowering to realize we're not just watching this technological revolution happen. We can be a part of shaping it.
I agree. The future of AI isn't set in stone. It's being written right now. And we all have a voice in that story.
That's a powerful thought to end on. It's been a really insightful look into the world of AI and human collaboration. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure. And to everyone listening, stay curious, stay informed, and stay engaged. The future of AI is in our hands.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into this fascinating world around us.